The WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, going up to 325 times your entry with their new Pick 8. Sign up with promo code NBA SGPN and claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code NBA SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Create your own betting model with their AI betting engine. Claim your 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice of the guys. Me, Really Row, Villain Row. Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. The life of villainy is just amazing. I love it. I love it. Oh, we're so back. We're so back. After a rough 3 episodes in a row where I couldn't hit a lock or a dog, we're back in the win column, and we're back in the win column in a big way. It was a glorious Sunday, a bloody Sunday, if I do say so myself, because I mean everything we threw at the dartboard just hit. I mean, it didn't matter. Sky Storm under 164.5 was never in doubt. Lock that came through. First dart come off the board. Then we had the dog. It was a 3-leg parlay. I ended up playing each leg individually as well. It paid you about plus 550 around there. Those odds depend on your book. Atlanta, Connecticut under, Storm laying 8.5, Dallas and Las Vegas over. I mean, that's how you come back. And then I go and I tweet as I'm on the road driving from Virginia to North Carolina. I said, you know what? I need some action on the games today. Here's 4 plays. Asia Wilson over 36.5 points and rebounds. We had Odyssey Sims over 11.5 points. We had De'Erica Hamby over 18.5 points. And then Skylar Diggins-Smith over 19.5 points and assists. I mean, all of it hit. All of it hit. It all hit. It was crazy. It was absolutely insane, and I just don't understand what's going on. So we're gonna take it and we're gonna live with it. It was just great, but now I have to bless us with the drop that everybody has been waiting to hear, because it is warranted. The Phoenix Suns know that drop very, very well. They know that drop very, very well. And then to top it all off, my co-host Scott Studio Reichel added to the lock total as well. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, doing pretty well. Unfortunately, I was hoping to join you in the sweep category, but the Sparks ended up not pulling it out in the fourth quarter. Very competitive game. It was very close. Unfortunately, though, they kind of fell apart down the stretch, and the Mercury got the job done. So either way, point is ended up losing the dog, but we did have the dream team total under 69.5. Very nice, and they had 24 points in the first half. Had to sweat it out, though. Once again, 24 in the first half, and they had to wait to sweat it out till the end. But they finished with 67, so they went under. Can't complain. Hit the lock. Unfortunately, dog fell a bit short, but overall, good episode for us.
It was a great episode. It was a great episode. Let's go ahead and we can read off. Scott, 18 and 14 on his locks on the season, 56%. Myself, 23 and 9, 71%. Well, round up, 72% on the locks there. So, all right. I mean, here we go. I'm looking forward to it. We got 5 camp day. 5 camp day games going on where you're going to hear a bunch of snotty-nosed kids in the crowd, and it's going to be lit. It's going to be amazing. Actually, Indiana's playing, and I'm actually very curious if it's going to be more grown adults that are just banking, like just straight up said, you know what, screw work on a Wednesday, we're gonna go see Caitlin Clark, or if it's actually gonna be Camp Day kids. Like I think there's gonna be a healthy mix in that one. But everywhere else, oh, you're gonna hear the kids, you're gonna hear them loud. And before we get to the 5-game early slate, I hope people are tuning into this before it's too late because it is a early slate. I gotta talk to you about the Propcast. Munaf and Chris Capper, they're both getting you ready for NFL season with a whole bunch of dedicated propcast episodes. They're doing season long props, they're doing awards market, all of that. So make sure you tap in with them with the propcast and check out Bottom Line Bombs with CJ Sullivan and his road to $10 million. You can get it like him too. Make sure you tap into the Bottom Line Bombs podcast wherever you get your podcast on the SGPN app. All right, let's see here. Next game on the slate. We have a game that's teeing off right now, early 10-4 Minnesota. We'll see if LA can keep it close without Nafisa Collier on the lineup. I'm watching that. I actually really need Minnesota to get that win because I have a under on the Sparks win total that I need to come through, and I just don't need wins like that on the schedule at all. So need the links to come through there. All right. 11 a.m. on the East Coast. The New York Liberty on the road going to play the Connecticut Sun. Liberty open up laying 1.5. They're currently laying 2. 157.5 is total. Injury report. Let's go see. It's an extensive injury report around the league. So let's make sure there isn't any new updates for these teams. Let's see. Naira Sabali is questionable with the back injury. She might play in that game tomorrow. And that is all I have. All right. Well, Scott, I'm ready to break out the locks already. I don't know about you, but I mean, dog, it's
Bibberty.
the Sun playing the Liberty.
Bibberty. They don't beat this team.
Yeah. They don't. They don't. Like it's not consistent enough where I want to bet it. Like, come on, we always just blindly take Liberty in this spot because they're they've won the past 5 games. And let's see, they've
Does that include
covered
playoffs or is that only regular season?
nope, this includes playoffs.
Okay.
So they won earlier this season. They played 2 games this season already. They won 82-79 in Connecticut. And they won 82. Wow, 82 and 75 against Connecticut as well. Wow, they played 3 games. Wait, they played 3 games already, and all first 3 are in Connecticut?
I think so.
Yeah, holy crap. Well, either way, they've covered 2 in every single one of these games. The first game was 2.5. Second game was 2. Now we're looking at 2 again. I mean,
Wait, are you sure?
there's
Because I
spots.
only see 1 game here. I only see 1 game listed for the season.
What do you mean? Oh,
said
oh no, that
3
was
games. Was that a preseason game or something? Like I only see 1 game
I guess
here on
that's
the
a
schedule.
preseason game.
All
Yeah,
right.
all right. I guess that's a preseason game. It is a preseason game. Okay, my bad. 1 game on the schedule. Either way, they still won and covered that one. Let me see.
It's rinse and repeat. We said the same thing about the Sun against the Aces a couple weeks ago. Until they beat one of these teams, we're not going to pick them to beat one of these teams. So yeah, we're both on the Liberty. We don't have to spend much time.
They constantly lose these games. Like this is just not their matchup. Like the Liberty play well defensively, and no matter how well Connecticut does end up playing defensively, they never have enough firepower. Like they never have enough firepower to really compete with this team. And looking at that, including the outside of the even preseason game where they can't beat this team, the playoff game they've won the last 3 straight. So I mean, they've only kept this within 2 points once in those 4 games. I really don't expect them to do it again. While they are really good defensively, I just don't think the offense is there where they're going to be able to keep up. And they've clearly shown time after time again they can't hold this Liberty team down for long. So I'm willing to throw a lock here. I think that the Liberty are just going to go in here and handle business and just beat a team that they beat constantly before.
I agree. I'm assuming though for the total you're leaning under because A, it's the Sun, B, it's an 11 a.m. start time.
Yeah. I think the 11 a.m. start time is doing it a little bit more for me, but they went over this line earlier this season, so I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility. I think I can. Let me see here. I think I can get down with a Sun team total under because I just think the Liberty are going to be really, really locked in after losing that game to Indiana, and they blew that game to
Hmm.
Indiana. They
Yeah, they're up by
blew
a
it.
lot.
Yeah, and so I think what was it, double digits in the last 5 minutes
I want to
or
say they're
something
up
like that.
10 with 6 to go, I think, but it was a bad
Yeah,
collapse.
yeah, that's tough, man. Like that's tough, and we've seen better defensive performances by them. And so let me see a Sun team total. Let me look at a Sun team total. I think I can get behind a Sun team total under here. Bet 365 is really good with team totals or have it. And this is an early game, so I think they should have it. Hold on. Alrighty here. WNBA, Connecticut Sun, team props, and we have a team total set at 77.5. Yeah. All right. I could play that. Sun team total under 77.5. That's the better play I have on the total, but I'm with you. I would lean under.
Yep, I agree.
Player props. We got an assortment. Let's see.
I think I like Laney. I think Laney Hamilton's a solid option here. She's been great recently. Her assists are 3.5. She has gone over in 8 of the last 10. I know
Mhm.
Connecticut's good at preventing assists, but I think Laney's in a decent spot for that. If you want to go for points, rebounds, and assists, that's a 21.5. Also gone over in 8 of the last 10. I think Laney Hamilton's just been undervalued, and it feels like her props are still way off. So I don't mind going for her overs in this matchup. Laney Hamilton has been phenomenal. Really, no way around it. So she has gone over the 3.5 assist line in 9 of her last 11. That's good enough for me. I'll go with the over on Laney Hamilton assists at 3.5. Minus 130.
Okay. Um, let's see. Anything that really, really jumps out. It's because if this game does go under and it's ugly, and
At that point, you're looking at rebound props at that point.
yeah, I'm trying to see if it's anybody's under that I points under that I really just feel comfortable with
Yeah,
and
well,
just go ahead and backing. Yeah.
I was going to say, while you pull that up, I can read off some of the stats from the first game this season. Ionescu led the Liberty with 24. She had 5 assists with that. John Quell at 22 and 8 in that game. Brianna Stewart didn't do much. She had 13 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Laney Hamilton, I mentioned before, had 10, 7, and 6. And Thornton ended up starting. She had 6 points. As for Connecticut, AT had 10, 12, and 7. So I guess AT rebounds would be your choice. Bonner had 16 and 8, and Carrington had 12, 4, and 2. So John Quell did well first meeting if you want to go for her props.
So I found the under that I want to play, and it's going to be Sabrina.
Okay.
And I want to find, yeah, 5.5 is just, I really wish this was 6.5. I feel like any other time I would play an over, it'd be at 6.5, but now it's at 5.5. I really, really wanted 6.5. I would have felt better about it, but 5.5, she's been really, really good to the under in this number against Connecticut. And we talked about it. Connecticut has a really good defense. I don't think that there's going to be opportunities for a lot of assists, but Courtney Vandersloot coming back into the lineup really has thrown her off her assist game where she was just kind of absolutely dominating. And, now that Vandersloot is back, she takes the ball out of her hand a little bit and just kind of hurts the overall landscape. So you look at her last 5 games with Courtney Vandersloot coming back. When did she come back in that Minnesota game? So last 4 games that she came back, she's had 4, 4, 5, and 4, been under in all 4 games. I think that this is a plus defensive matchup. They're going to force the ball out of her hands, and I think that she's probably going to look to score in this one a little bit better. She's had success lately scoring, and she's had success sometimes in against this Connecticut team. So I think she's going to be a little bit more pass first, but I just don't think the assists are going to be there. So give me the under 5.5 for Sabrina Ionescu here in this game. Hopefully, it's one of those early camp day ugly games, and she just doesn't get the chance to get going and get her teammates going. So there we go. I found an under that I like there. I would probably still play a AT rebounds, Jocko Jones rebounds type play. I think they're going to battle and have rebounds there. But I think Serena, just the last 5 games and her going under in 4 straight with Courtney Vandersloot back in the lineup, this is probably one of those.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Yeah, that's all I got for this one. Okay. Before we get to the next game on the slate, gotta talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. Their pick 8 is live and they automatically double flex the entry. So you can miss up to 2 picks and still win your entry. It's up to 325 times your original amount, and they have specials and boosts and all of that stuff that just gives you more chances to win and profit off of Underdog Fantasy. So make sure you sign up with that promo code NBA SGPN, claim your special pick and first time deposit offer, $250 in bonus cash, underdogfantasy.com, promo code NBA SGPN. We're also back with Circa Survivor and Circa Millions at Circa Sports. They're giving away $16 million in guaranteed prizes this season. So, hey, you could do a pick 5 in Circa Millions where you pick 5 teams ATS each week in the NFL and you compete for $6 million. Or you can do Circa Survivor and compete for a $10 million prize and just survive the entire NFL season picking one team a week. And, hey, or you could do both. You could absolutely do both. Make sure you sign up in person at Circa Sports between now and September 7th, and then use a proxy to play from anywhere with footballcontestproxy.com. Code SGP, and it'll save you $50. Footballcontestproxy.com, code SGP. And make sure you tap in with the Ultimate Contest Weekend. Hang out with Sean Ryan at the greatest sportsbook in the world, August 22nd through the 24th. Might have to see. Oh, no, I got something to do on 24. I can't be there. All right. Next game on the slate. We've got 12 p.m. on the East Coast. The Atlanta Dream on the road. Going to play in Chicago. Chicago's laying 5. Well, they were laying 5. Now it's at 6. 157.5 is total. Injury report here for this game, and it's a doozy because the Atlanta Dream are just limping into the Olympic break. Atlanta Dream are going to be missing Ryan Howard in this game. They're going to miss Jordan Canada. They're going to miss Ariel Powers. And Letitia Amir is actually not playing in this game. Well, they weren't playing her minutes anyway, so that doesn't matter. But she's not going to play with this game because she's already left for the Olympic break to handle international duties. Chicago, clean injury report. I mean, is there any way you can be sold? I mean, can anything sell you on taking Atlanta here? If Atlanta wins in this spot, I'm perfectly fine being wrong about it.
I took the Dream to not score 70 points in a basketball game, and I won. I'm not going to suddenly think this team's going to show up for the spot. The only concern is the Sky's inability to play a full 40 minutes because this team tends to always punt leads in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
I still like how they played against Seattle. I know they got run out of the building in the second half, but they won the first game, and they looked pretty good for a half. And then Seattle woke up and killed them. But I think Chicago's the better team. I think that rebounding-wise, they can definitely have some success with Angel Reese, who set the record, congrats to her, for the longest consecutive double-double streak. So we'll see if she can keep it rolling or not.
Hey, but WNBA Player of the Week, too. Not just rookie.
She had 27
like
points
WNBA, yeah. First rookie to get that honor this season. WNBA Player of the Week. That's a big honor. That's a big one.
Yeah, the more that I think about it, the more I think we're approaching co-rookie of the years, but I do think Caitlin will win the vote in the end. But I wouldn't mind a co. I wouldn't mind a
I wonder what that would pay. Hey, no, because they gave, I mean, there's been press. I don't know about rookie of the year. I have to go back and look. I don't know. I don't think there's been a co-rookie of the year.
No. For rookie of the year, I believe that's happened before, I think.
Okay. But I do know that we just the other season we had comeback player of the year with Nafisa Collier and Brittany Griner. So I mean, hey, maybe they I wonder if we get paid out on that. Is an angle that would get me to actually place a bet on Reese, because if Co gets paid out, I think it's usually place dead a bet heat. On Reese then.
Usually it's dead heat rules, which is whatever the payout is, it's half, and you just get paid half of whatever the odds.
I hate dead heat.
That's sometimes how it goes. Some books don't specify, so they'll just pay out anyway. And some do it for good graces anyway. They try to attract more customers, so they'll just pay out full, because why not? But point is, she's been in great form, and I think she can dominate in this game. Carter's been great as well. Mabry's been a bit quiet, but I think that Atlanta
Mm.
defensively should struggle in general. I'm going with Chicago. I know they're laying a lot of points. It's an area that they have not exactly been in before, laying this many points, but I think the Dream are horrible. Chicago's back at home, and I think Angel Reese is going to keep her double-double streak going. So give me Chicago, and that'll segue us into the Angel Reese props.
Hey, and I 100%, I am with you or with the chat. I do think that Angel Reese should win Rookie of the Year.
I already made my
But
case on Twitter. I'm
I
just saying, I think
don't
the voters would still give it to Caitlin, but I would
I
not
I
let
am I don't trust the voters. I don't trust the voters. I don't. If she wins it, I'm just not gonna have any action on it because I just don't trust. I think the voters, no matter what, as long as Caitlin Clark finishes the season, they're gonna give it to her. Like I think the bias is already there. I really do. Back to this game though. Dream, because you said something earlier about the Sky, and the Sky have been solid in the first half this season. 11-8, 11-8-1 in the first half. That's 58% at home. Sky 6-3-1. Now only 3-4 is a favorite, but 6-3-1 at home. The Atlanta Dream on the road. Well, overall, they're 6-13-1 in the first half to the number 5-4-1 in the first half on the road. And as a dog, they're 3-7-1. I like this spot. I think this is a really good spot to catch the Chicago Sky in the first half and not even worry, especially in an early game, Camp Day game at home. I think we catch them in the first half. That's a possible lock too. Catch them in the first half. Don't even worry about the second half lows with the Chicago Sky. I think the first half is a really, really good way to play them. So that first half line is sitting at 3.5 at minus 112 consensus. I see, but shop around. You can get better. All right. Totals at 157.5. I mean, this game could completely die in the second half.
Both
That's
teams are not very
possible.
good offensively in the second half, so I'll lean under on that one. I feel like this might be a decent game to maybe live bet a total, but as you said before, it is a
Yeah.
relatively weird start time, which is always going to gravitate more towards an under from us anyway. But I can see a somewhat higher scoring first half, maybe, and then it just turns into a rock fight late. But with this game being at noon with a couple days off before it, it's probably ugly. So I'll look for an under.
Let's see here. Last 5 games, these two teams. Let's just make sure we're not putting our foot in the mouth here. Last 5 games, these two teams in the second half, the Chicago Sky are 8th in opponents. Well, that's opponents. I don't want opponents. I want their scoring. Duh. Let's go back and click that and do that the right way. Last 5 games in the second half, the Chicago Sky scoring. Let's throw that in there. Boom. 10th for the Chicago Sky, 7th for the Dream. Wow, the Dream are actually slightly better than I would have gave them credit for the past 5 games. But they also had Jordan Canada in a couple of those games. So Atlanta Dream 7th. They've had some issues. They've had some health. Chicago Sky 10th. That's crazy that they're all the way down at 10. Oh man, first half scoring slightly better for these two teams. Chicago Sky move up to 8. The Atlanta Dream dead last in first half. That Sky first half lane 3.5 really feels like the best bet in this game thus far. I really do like that under though. I really do. The under is if I could throw a parlay, and I will throw a parlay together, I will probably get 157.5. 157.5. Yeah, I probably will put that on parlay, but I do like that Sky first half. I think I've sold myself on that. All right, let's see here. Yes, we do interact with the chat. We chat with the chat. We was just talking about Angel Reese and Rookie of the Year. I wouldn't talk about that on my own, but we was. Do anything else? Anybody else? Did I miss anything? Chat? Anything? Anybody else want to throw out there? All right, player props. Saw somebody say, hey, Kenny Carter has now made her player prop up to 19.5.
I mean, she's a hell of a player. Keep scoring.
She's
By the way,
made
Angel
it.
Reese, the return to 10.5 rebounds lasted 1 game. She's back.
What is it? Oh, is it
12.5.
12?
I still
that
like
was
the over.
that was
I'm not going with an
childish.
under, but
That was childish.
yeah,
I don't know why they even play. Why did they even play with us and do 10? Like now I'm teased. I felt like that was a tease. I thought we'd at least get to 11.5. Now they went back to 12. It probably
it's
was at 11 and a
because
half at some
she
point.
had 10 in the first game against Seattle, and that game ended up being an overtime game. So I guess they expected her to struggle again, and then she walked into 14. So yeah, we're back to 12.5. And for the record, she has gone over this number in 7 of the last 9. So I still like the rebounds on Angel Reese. I'm not gonna go against it.
Hmm. I think that Teaspoon has learned the lesson, and she understands that Cardosa and Reese both have to be out there. Give me
Yep.
Cardosa. She's gonna get more minutes. She's gonna get more minutes this go round. I think she'll be better. Hopefully, we'll see. I think actually Angel Reese is gonna take on the main priority of Tina Charles. They'll probably both do back and forth, but I think Cardosa plays a little bit better, keeps herself out there, especially against the Atlanta Dream team. That I think is gonna struggle offensively. They're not gonna find the touch and be able to hit. Like it's really just gonna be Tina Charles, Alicia Gray, and you're gonna hope maybe Maya Caldwell gives you some points. You don't have props on her, but I'm just saying, like, you hope that she's able to help score for you. You hope that Cheyenne Parker Tyus is able to come off the bench and give a surge. But I just think Cardosa, pretty good spot to catch her rebounds. I'll take her rebounds at 8.5 as well. Anything else that's really
Is there
intriguing to
anybody on the
me?
Dream that you like? Alicia Gray, maybe? Is there anybody on the Dream, or that's just a pure stay away?
I can't even get myself honestly to play. I think I could play Tina Charles rebounds.
Okay.
I think that's about it. Tina Charles at 8.5 as well. I can play, because if you sat here and you told me that Charles, Reese, Cardosa all had 10 rebounds, I wouldn't be surprised. But no, I can't get there offensively right now. I really can't. And maybe this is a chance that they get up a little bit more. It's an easier offensive matchup. So if you had to play anybody, it's probably, and I think they're only going to give you props on Gray and Charles, but like I can't trust it. Just give me the rebounds in this one.
I thought about maybe going for Charles points because she's played against the Sky twice this season. She's had at least 19 points in both meetings. Line's at 15.5.
She's got the bag, man. They don't know. They don't
So,
have post defense to keep up with her. That's how I would play it. I think that's
so
the best. Maybe a points and rebounds in Charles too.
I was going to say that's an option. Alicia Gray, if you want to go for points and rebounds at 21.5, she has gone over in 5 straight. So that is something to consider
And
against the
she has
Sky.
no choice. No
Yeah,
choice.
she has split the two against the Sky this season, but I think it's actually a good matchup for Tina Charles if you want to go for points, because
Mm-hmm.
I still don't really like their Chicago's backcourt defensively. Cardoso is a good actual shot blocker in college, but I don't know if she's actually a good defensive player or not. If that makes any sense, kind of sounds like counterintuitive, but I don't think her lateral quickness is that existent. So I do think that Tina Charles can find some openings against Cardoso and against Angel Reese. So I don't mind Charles points at 15.5.
All right. Before we get to the next game of the slate, gotta talk to you about rhythm. Look, they've been hot in the W, and you just got to continue to back them. You got to continue to play them. Why would you not? I mean, you can get a 7-day free trial and just check it out for yourself. Y'all talk about picks. Well, they have the picks for you. Rhythm, make sure you tap into the Rhythm app, and that is RITHMM at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. RITHMM. Get a 7-day free trial on a Rhythm. Okay. Let me see here. What's the rhythm? What's the rhythm play? Well, looky here. The rhythm, 66.5% win probability on the Liberty Sun under 157.5. And they have Liberty money line, 66 at minus 138, 66.2% win probability there. They're backing the Liberty, they're backing the under, or both one of those plays. Make sure you tap in the rhythm. All right. Let's see. Next game up, still 12 p.m. on the East Coast going off. Here, the Washington Mystics on the road going to play the Indiana Fever. Fever opened up at 5.5. They are now laying 6. 168 is the total injury report here for these two teams. And we have for the Indiana Fever, Fagbile is out with the thumb injury. She's not going to be playing in this game for the Fever. No Shakira Austin still, no Brittany Sykes still, no Carly Samuelson either in this game for the Mystics. They are getting Stephanie Dawson in the lineup. I know she's been in and out of the lineup recently. She is still playing in this game. Okay. Now, you have two teams that have been playing probably some of their best basketball. I'm not going to lie. It doesn't look like it from the straight up metrics from the Mystics because they're 1-4 in their last 5, but they've covered 4 of the last 5, and that's all that matters around here. Hey, that is all that matters around here. They've covered 4 of the last 5. Actually, they've covered against every single team they played because they played the Aces twice, and they didn't cover the second matchup, but they covered the first one. So last 4 teams they played, they covered all 4 games. Here we go. We have the Indiana Fever who are coming off of the win in that comeback win. We went and I said that Mercury was their best win of the season, and 2 games later, they have their actual best game of the season, beating the number 1 team in the league in the New York Liberty. So things looking better. However, in between there was a clunker against Las Vegas where they only scored 69 points against the Las Vegas Aces defense, and that I'm not going to let us just not talk about. So 6 points, Indiana Fever. What you doing?
So I'm assuming, just based on tradition, you're going back to Mystics first half.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
So I was going to start off
I mean,
there.
going back to means that we ever got off the train.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that wasn't mentioned when you introduced the game. So I was assuming that was obvious, but if you're new to the show, you probably did not know the Mystics are a wagon in the first half. For this one, I mean, the Fever have been playing better basketball lately, but I still don't like backing teams laying points if they can't guard anybody. And the Mystics aren't a good team based on record, but they have been more competitive recently. They've been on a really bad run recently. I can't blame them for it because their schedule has been impossible. If you want to go through the Mystics schedule recently, it's been absolutely brutal. Played the Lynx, played the Aces, played the Sparks, they won that game. Played the Sparks, they won that game. Played the Aces.
Covered.
Played the Sun.
Covered.
And they won the 2 games against the Wings before that. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they played road games against 2 very solid Western Conference teams, played the Sparks, they won that game on the road, and that's apparently a tough place to play because the Aces can't win there, apparently. Lost to the Aces at home by 11, and they lost to the Sun in that crazy game that went to overtime. So, the Mystics have not been that bad. Record-wise, they've been really bad, but that's a tough schedule. I think they're undervalued here. You could argue that it's a good sell-high spot in Indiana after Indiana beat the Liberty, and now they might be potentially overlooking this team. But I don't know if I actually believe that because they've had some time off in between games. If it was like an immediate one-day off matchup against the Mystics, I would definitely pick the Mystics to win this game. But there has been some time off to kind of let that win marinate, I guess. I'm going to lean Mystics. I still don't trust the Fever to actually guard anybody. And the 2 meetings this season have been close. The Fever did cover this line in one of them. But both meetings were high scoring. Both meetings were close. And I think this game will be somewhat close as well. Maybe free throws at the end kill it, but I'm going to lean to the 6. I think the Mystics can hang in there. Give them the Mystics +6.
Man, 2-point win and didn't cover. The Fever did cover as a 4-point favorite. And then they covered 5 the game after, but they only won by 7. They've been right there, even in the second half. Oh, first half Mystics is 100% to play. By the way, if you wanted to know the numbers, Mystics are 14-6-2, 70% in the first half this season.
And for the 2 games this season, they trailed by 2 and by 3 against Indiana. So they're probably, I'm assuming the line's at 3.5 if it's going to be 6 for this game. So they covered this line
at 3.5.
So,
and then Fever 8-12-2 in the first half. 5-3-1 at home though. On the road, Mystics 8-3-1. What? This is like, it's always been good though. It's just how Eric Tebow coaches his team, man. That's just coaching at this point. There's been so many different iterations of this team, and for this team always to be good in the first half, it's really crazy. All right. 14-7-1, by the way, if you were worried about ATS on the season for the Mystics, 14-7-1. Okay. Total 168.
I'm leaning over, but you can talk me out of it if you want to. It is an early start time, which is kind of annoying.
Okay, let me because it did go over the first two games. It went over 161 and a half and went over 167. This is 168. However, let me throw this out there, Scott. In the first half, well, not the first half, but in the first game, the total finished at 168.
Yep. It was right there both times. It was right there.
In the second game, 169.
Yeah, it's right there.
And now it's way earlier. I just think if there was ever an opportunity to take the under, now is the time. When we get the highest total, it's been right there, and now we're playing an earlier start time. I actually really do think the Mystics are kind of live in this game. Like, it just kind of feels like they're due to play somebody that's a little bit lower in competition and for them to get a win. Like, they played Connecticut and Las Vegas, gave them a game, 2 games in a row, then went and beat the Sparks. They played Las Vegas, wasn't really competitive that second time around, but they were super competitive against that Lynx game. But I do have to give credit. The Lynx didn't have Nafisa Collier in that game. That means something. But still, they were able to cover 9 in that. So I don't know. I think Washington's live. I just can't trust them in the second half. I'll just take it in the first half. So sprinkle on the money line as well for that first half money line for the Washington Mystics. But I like the under here, under 168.
Yeah, I might agree with you in the end, just based on sticking with the early start time formula. It's been pretty good to us so far. You are right. It did go over in both meetings, but around this number, it's close to where this total actually is. I think I will agree to the under. I'm not going to bet the total. I'm probably not going to bet this game besides the Mystics early, or maybe some player props. But for total, yeah, I'll probably end up leaning under now that I think about it.
All right. TheMoneyballer.com. My bad. TheMoneyballer.com is where I got those first half stats. I don't think they have first quarter stuff up here, but they got a bunch of first half stuff. Shout out to my guy, Ron, and everybody. There's some other people I know up there working on that product. So shout out to them. Very, very quick and easy stuff that I can go in there and check. All right. Let's see here. What's player props for this game? There we go. Player props. We got to talk about player props.
Well, I do want to ask you because Nolissa recently has gone under by a lot. But you mentioned before Indiana's a bit shorthanded in the front court. So I'm assuming that would definitely impact her props, where you might be considering maybe an over on Nolissa for a buy low spot. But it is pretty fascinating because to go through her games here, she has actually gone under her total of 12.5 points in 6 of the last 8 with like Bentley out of the lineup. So I do think that kind of suggests that maybe the under is still worth playing for Nolissa. If you could find an exact points like margin, kind of like how people used to bet on Shea to finish with exactly like 31 points in like every single game. Nolissa over the last couple of performances has actually been just stuck at 12. It's actually kind of funny. She scored 12 points exactly in 4 of her last 5 games, which I find pretty funny. But if you want to go for like a margin of like a 10 to 12 or
is this,
an 11
is this
to 13,
Shea 31?
Sure.
Is
That's
this
what I'm
Shea
saying.
31?
It might be. 4 of the last 5 with exactly 12 points is pretty funny.
Nah, yeah, you're right. You're right. But at least it's an even number. If it was an odd number, then I'd be like, all right. Shea get 31 being an odd number. I'm like, all right, how do you keep hitting that? But yeah, okay. I'm with you, Scott. I'm gonna throw, hey, you're talking about 12 points for Nolissa Smith. I'm gonna throw out 12 points for a Steph Dolson. She's at 19 in the first matchup, 14 in the second matchup. It's at 11.5 now. I know she's been in and out of lineup due to injury, and the last 2 games she's been at 10, like literally right there. But she played a Minnesota team, very, very solid defensively. I'm not gonna blow smoke up you there for not being able to cover that against Minnesota. But then she also played the Sparks, and that game actually did go under, but she got 10 against Sparks. Prior to that, though, 23, 18, and 18 against Las Vegas, Connecticut, and Dallas. So I think that Steph Dolson, when she goes out there, especially with now all the injuries that they've been having and, the issues And the fact that they're just looking for offense from anywhere. Now Carly Samuelson is not playing either. Like Steph Dolson's stepped up, and she's been able to hit the 3-point line from the 3-point line and be able to shoot the ball really, really well. You look at those 3 games where she had that stretch I was talking about in the last 5 games. She hit 5, 4, and 4 threes in those games. So her 3-point line at 1.5, I think, is also an interesting play. Well, no, I lied. It's not an interesting play at -185, but 2.5 at +174 consensus is actually interesting. I would play that. Yeah. Yeah, I like Steph Dolson. Get over that points prop of 11.5 here today.
I'm having a hard time trying to figure out if there's any potential with Clark assists in this game because her
I'm not
numbers at
going against it
8.5.
anymore.
I was gonna say it is plus money. For reference, by the way, she has had at least 11 assists in 3 straight. She's had at least 11 assists in 4 of the last 5. But Washington's been great against her. She has had exactly 6 assists in each of the 2 meetings this season because Washington randomly is good at preventing assists. So I feel like based on trends alone, that's probably worth something. If you want to go for like 10 plus assists as an alt line, you can get 10 assists at 2-1. That could be interesting. But I am at least going to mention Washington's done a good job in the past of limiting her assists.
You want a hot take?
Sure.
It's not going to hit. She's not going to hit the assist. But because I'm not going to play it and I'm not going to recommend it, that's how I know. That's how I know. Just watch. I'm not going to play it because it's just insane. Like the amount of opportunity that she has. Like she constantly, like you see that this offense is completely revolved around her, where if she's not scoring, she's assisting. And so like she has the opportunity to get all of the points because they don't allow the offense to funnel through anybody else. And so it's a dangerous game. I played it the other day and it didn't hit. It's a dangerous game playing the under. I would not recommend it, but I'm not going to lie. This is not the day that I'm playing Caitlin Clark's over an assist for me personally.
I think I'm on the same page. I'm going to skip it.
Let's see. Julie Van Loo, however. 4.5. It's not been the best. However, and I'm telling you, it hasn't. Her last 3 games, she's had 4, 2, and 4. However, against Indiana, 6 and 8.
Yeah.
Poor defense.
8 in the most recent, by the way.
Yeah, 8 in the most recent. So poor defense. That could be I think that I would take an elevate and maybe bring Van Loo up to 6. I might try that.
By the way, just for reference, she had 8 assists in 21.5 minutes in that second meeting. She only played like 21 minutes and she had 8 assists. So
yeah, what's her minutes been since that? Yeah, recently and look at her minutes recently. 20, 25, 28, 28, 30. Yeah. Wow. I might be more sold on that than I thought. All right, Julie Van Loo.
I don't see any alt lines though. I would have considered 6, but I don't see a price on it.
We'll have to hunt that down tomorrow morning before the games tip off. All right.
I can check Bet365. Maybe they'll have it.
Oh yeah, they might. They're really good about the W. Shout out Bet365. Okay. Anything else here? Anything else? No, I think we hit a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Next game on the slate, and now we're working ourselves into the 3 p.m. hour. 3 p.m. on the East Coast. We have the Las Vegas Aces on the road going to play the Seattle Storm. Aces are laying 4.5 here. 173.5 is the total. Injury report for these 2 teams, and we have for the Aces, it looks like Megan Gustafson. Golly, why can't I say her name today? I normally say it. Gustafson. I don't know. I don't got it. Today's not the day. But she's out. So I guess that makes this easier because we don't have to talk about her for the rest of this. She's out with the illness. And Kia Stokes is not on an injury report with her illness. So they're getting Kia Stokes back. They're just losing some depth. Nothing to report for Seattle.
By the way, I pulled up Van Loo. They don't have 6, but they have 7. 7 plus assists is plus 310.
Wait for FanDuel with the 6.
Yep.
Wait for FanDuel with the 6. A little bit less for price. Just wait and see what they have that at. All right. So we've had 2 games this year. First game, Storm, 78-65. Handle business, play good defense, got it done. Second game, 94-84. Aces. Storm didn't play good defense, didn't get it done. That's ultimately what this game is going to come down to. If this game goes under and the Storm make this a defensive game, they're going to win. If it goes over and the Aces are able to run, gun, put up points, the Aces are going to win. Aces also have only 1 loss with Chelsea Gray coming back, and that's to that Sparks team. Other than that, they've looked really good. Yeah, I think that's where I'm going with this too. I just can't trust the Aces defensively.
And Seattle's at home.
At the very least, yeah, and Seattle's at home on camp day, so it's going to be lit. The very least, what I will do with Seattle, and this is potential lot territory as well. That team total over. Yes, please. Yes, I will take every part of the team total over for the Seattle Storm and just continue to fade the Aces defense. That's just not there. They're just not there this season. And it's up to 84.5. I mean,
for the record, they've not gotten there this season. They topped out at 83 in the last meeting. Then again, both games were in Vegas. This is actually the first home game Seattle's had against the Aces.
Yes. We've got 85 to Dallas, 98 to Los Angeles. There's that 77 in the second matchup against, well, they had 77 in both games against the Washington Mystics, and then the 69 against the Indiana Fever. The difference there is that these are pretty bad teams, and they've had a pretty easy schedule leading up to this point. But I just think this Seattle team's about to come in here and punch them in the mouth.
Yeah, for record, by the way, Seattle's a 9-2 at home, straight up. So
I think they're about to punch them in the mouth. I think Vegas has had a very, very easy go at it in terms of,
it's been a weak schedule.
Who they've been playing. Yeah, like it's been since Seattle. It's actually been since Seattle that yeah. No, I lied. It's not been since Seattle. They had Connecticut before that.
Since Connecticut, they've been playing a bunch of bottom feeders.
Yeah. Sky. It's literally only been Sky, Mystics, Fever, Wings.
Yep.
And Sparks, and they lost the Sparks game. Those are all the bottom team. Yeah, we're taking Seattle. Seattle plus 4.5. I'm going under because I think Seattle's going to win, but I think Seattle's still going to get over their team total. Giving me Seattle under for the game. What are you doing?
I think I like Ace's team total under. I feel like there's just an easier way to go about it. You keep taking the overs and they keep losing.
Ooh, it's at 94. It's at 84. I can't even talk. It's at 89.5.
I mean, that's massive against Seattle. I understand the Aces offense is great, but you're expecting them to score 90 in Seattle? I want to actually see how many times Seattle's even allowed 90 points in a game.
They have not. I'm actually scrolling, and the last time they allowed 90 was to the Aces.
They had 94, but it was in Vegas. So
yeah,
I do like the at home for this one, but the team total is massive.
Holy shit.
They gave up 93 to the Lynx in the second game of the season, but that went to like triple overtime, so I'm not going to count that.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
I think I'm going to.
No, wait. You're right. Wait, hold on. They've only done it twice.
Yeah, and one went to like double overtime.
Twice. So. And I mean, granted, one was the Ace, but come on, this is also camp day. This is 12 p.m. on the West Coast. There's a whole bunch of factors why the Aces should not get to 90 this game.
And it's in Seattle, which I think they'll play better defense in. So give me the Aces team total under.
You're right. I agree with you. Screw my Storm team total over. I like the Aces team total under better. Aces team total under, which is 89.5. Oh man, what? Psh, that might get added later at some point. Okay. Player props.
You going back to Diggin Smith? She came through last time for you on Twitter.
Yeah, she did, man. They really played making that line 19 and a half on the point. Like she gone over so many times. They really played making that line that. But let's see. It's at 20 and a half this go around, which actually isn't bad. She's been over 20 and a half in 62% of the games this year. She's been over 20 and a half in one of the two games in that. Well, of course, the second game went way under, but that first, no, second game, she actually was the over game, but she actually didn't get there. But she got there in the first game, 21.7 assists, 6 assists in 10 points in the second game. She's been really good in the past 10 games, getting over there 6 of the last 10, 2 straight for 20 and a half. I think is actually a pretty solid line. I wouldn't mind getting back to Skylar Diggins-Smith over 20 and a half points and rebounds. I mean, despite me thinking the game goes under, A'ja Wilson still had 29 and 27 against this team this season. I wonder if this line is going to go down. I wonder what the line movement is going to be here when we wake up in the morning and people really start betting these games. Because if I think that the total is going to drop because I think the under is live, I'm just going to wait till I get A'ja's to 26 and a half. If I get her at 26 and a half, yeah, money. I still think 27 and a half is pretty good. But like, I think she's going to do work on inside in the paint. She's going to get to the foul line and she's going to boost her total. But Kelsey Plum and the crazy run that she's been on, I think they're going to have her circled and she's not going to be as good. Jackie Young, I think, is going to have to add a whole bunch of effort on the defensive side of ball, where I think she's not going to be as much good offensively here. Yeah, I think this is a tough matchup. I definitely do like Jewell Loyd because I think between Jewell Loyd and Skylar Diggins-Smith, somebody's going to get the Plum matchup, and that person is going to have a great game.
I think my favorite prop in this game is actually Jackie Young assists under at 5.5. Looking at her numbers recently, assist-wise, she's been underwhelming. She had two 10-assist games against Indiana and Washington, but those were kind of outliers. She's had less than 6 assists in 6 of her last 8. And against Seattle, she hasn't really done anything with assists. In the 2 meetings this season, she's had less than 4 assists. In fact, dating back to last year, she's had less than 4 assists in 5 of the 6 meetings. And it's kind of crazy because in that 94-point game that Vegas had, she had 32 points, but she only had 2 assists. So I don't mind Jackie under for assists. I think 5.5 is too high.
All right. Ezzy Magbor. I can't spell. I can't pronounce anybody's name today. Like, what's going on? No, this is just no. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with my speech today. I can't even say anybody's name. Ezzy, however, here, she's had tough matchups. She had 2 games against Chicago with Reese and Cardoso. Then she had 2 games against Dallas, and we could talk about all the front court options for Dallas with McGowan, Brown, Howard. Things. Hey, A'ja Wilson is a force, but Ezzy's been over this in the 2 games this season, and she's cleared. I'm talking 15 and 13. Her rebounds is at 8.5. Over 8.5 rebounds for Ezzy. Man, I think this is a good matchup. Is she going to get the 15, 13? I don't think so, but I think she can get the 9. I like a 9, maybe a 10 rebound day for Ezzy today. And you know what? I may consider a double look for Ezzy. I just might consider it. Okay.
Price on that?
She's at plus 145. I see.
Yeah, that's what I got.
All right. Ezzy rebounds. Can add that to my card. Yeah, that's it. All right. Last game of the slate. It's going to be early too. So got to hit early and just have a great rest of the day. But then I'm going to be so bored and I might accidentally end up betting baseball at the end of the night. So I might have to watch the MLB gambling podcast. Dallas Wings on the road going to play the Phoenix Mercury. Mercury open up laying 8.5. They're down to 7.5. 173.5 and is the total. That actually went down too. Opened up at 174.5. Interesting. Interesting line movement in this game, actually. So here we go. Injury report for these two teams, and everlasting for the Dallas Wings. They have outs. And so looky here, Dallas is going to be missing Lou Lopez. I'm going to be missing Maddie Seeger, Satu Sabli, Jaylen Brown. And Rebecca Allen is actually expected to play for the Phoenix Mercury. However, Diana Taurasi is out with the hamstring.
It is Phoenix at home. Both teams are dead, but the Mercury have more options. So they also just played. And if you lose to the Mercury while you're on your home floor, that's a problem because the Mercury barely went on the road. I like the over.
They let
The
him
game
come
broke
back in that
200.
game. They let him come back in that game.
Yeah, the Mercury led by like 18, and then the Wings cut it close, and they held on at the end. But I like the over. I mean, that meeting in Dallas landed like 200 and change. So give me the over. I see a bunch of points. You agree about the total? Because that last game.
Yeah, I gotta play the over. I think the line movement is maybe people just betting under because it's an early game. But golly, I mean the pace and the scoring for these two teams is just incredibly astronomically insane. First matchup was 97-90. The second matchup was even worse at 104-96. Yeah, over for sure. I can't get on under with these two teams. However, if I play Dallas, I'm just gonna play them in the first half again. They've been starting games really good, and that second half comes into play, and they kind of blow it a little bit. Even though they had a really good second half against them the second time around, but they've been solid. 8-5 on the road, 62% for them, being able to get it done in the first half. And Phoenix Mercury, well, 7-4 at home. Mercury have been good at home. Maybe a first half over is another look that you could have there. 7-4, 7-4-2. I'm sorry, 7-4-2 for the Wings in the first half over. And oh well, is that a net? I'm like, get out of here. Did I get it? No, I didn't. I thought I caught it like Mr. Miyagi. All right. Let's see. 4-7 to the first half over for the Mercury at home. So maybe a Wings. What is the Wings first half team total? I could get behind that. And I know it's got to sound good. I know it sounds good. The first half team total for the, oh wait, no, that's the wrong game. There we go. First half team total for the Dallas Wings is 41.5.
It's pretty reasonable.
What? They could get to 42 points.
By the way, fun fact, they faced off 3 times this season, these teams. One did go to double overtime, but all 3 meetings got to at least 187. 2 of the 3 meetings landed 199 or higher in regulation. So, something to keep in mind.
Whew. All right. Let's see here. What you like?
For this one, it's going to be a bunch of overs. The question is, do I think that there's a case for Brittany to have a monster game? Because there might be. Didn't Cloud have like 31 points last game somehow?
Yep.
Didn't that happen?
Oh, I mean, she's been scoring a lot. She's been scoring a lot more in Phoenix than she was in Washington, for sure.
Yeah, I just missed blindly taking her assists.
It.
But I'm trying to think of what else is worth considering, because McCown's props are very low, rightfully so. I can't really argue with that. Cloud's rebounds have actually been a great under recently at 5.5. She has gone under in 9 of the last 10, and she's been really bad at rebounding against Dallas, which makes sense because Dallas is a good rebounding team despite being bad at everything else. She had 9 rebounds last game against the Aces, but before that last game, she had gone under in 9 straight. So Cloud rebounds might be a decent sell high spot, taking the under. Thinking if there's anything else I really want. Griner at 19.5, sure. I'll take the over on that. I think she's in line for a good matchup here. Griner has scored at least 21 points in 3 of her last 4 against Dallas this season. She had 24 points exactly in both meetings she played in against the Wings. So give me Griner points again. Why not? 24 in back-to-back meetings, and it's at 19.5. I think she can get to 20. This game might get to 190 and change again. So, yeah, I'll go with Griner points.
That Wings first half team total over has gotten there in the last 3 straight.
Yep.
Yeah, for the full game, I don't know, man. The Wings have been there. Like, they've been there with this team, at least. I just can't trust Phoenix defensively. And I mean, I get they're at home, but like, man, both of those games were in Dallas. Well, no, they put because the first game, and I mean, well, that's when Dallas was way healthier in the beginning of the season, but they did get
I
through it.
mean, Sabally didn't play in any of these games, so they were still never fully healthy.
Yeah, you're right. I'm taking Dallas plus the points. Dallas plus 7, plus 5.5. Taking it. I mean, not 5.5, but plus 7.5. Dallas plus 7.5.
My form of backing Dallas will be a team total. They can give up 100. They score 90 or 80, I'll be happy. So that's fine.
All right. Player props. I mean, with no Diane Taurasi, it's pretty clear where they started to funnel the offense. It's going to Clea Copper.
Yeah.
It's going to Brittany Griner. If Natasha Cloud can contribute, she clearly will. She just had 31 in the last game. But I'm pretty sure that's where we're funneling the offense here. It's going to be Brittany Griner. It's going to be Clea Copper. And I think this is a pretty good matchup for both of them. Let's see
I agree.
here. Let's pull it up. Wait, there we go. I've been backing Griner a lot recently. Griner, 19.5. She's been over in 4 of the last 5 games. Looking at the head-to-head that she's played with Dallas this season, in the 2 games, she's had exactly 24 points in both games. Look, another scoregami for Brittany Griner here. 24 seems to be the number for her. So she's gotten 24 in, like I said, the last 2 games against Dallas. Been over this line of 19.5 and 3 of the last 5, and over this season 55%, been really, really good. She's been over there in 6 of the last 10 as well. Very, very consistent, and I think this is an opportunity where she can get to the free throw line as well, like playing with, especially if Tierra McGowan is not locked in, bro. Like, oh, if she's having one of those twos where she just doesn't look serious in playing basketball, then absolutely. Thank you, Hassan, because I didn't see a line on Odyssey. They don't have a line out on her yet, but it was at 11.5 last game, and I played it. Play it again. Odyssey Sims over points. Whatever they drop it at, I'm positive it's probably not going to be enough. Scott, anything?
No, once again, I'm not taking unders in this game. Or maybe Cloud rebounds is the only under I consider, but I just expect the track meet. There's no reason to avoid it. Once again, 2 of the 3 meetings this season landed 199 or higher in regulation. Like, I just feel like that's insane. I'm going to have to consider the over again.
All right. Natasha Howard as well. Give me Natasha Howard over on points. I'm actually going to have fun with this game.
Yeah, it's a great same-game parlay game if you just expect a bunch of points. You can go with an Enrique versus Copper game. You can go with a bunch of different stuff.
No, because like the matchups are all there, and that second half of that last game where the Wings made that push and almost came back and was in the game. I think they brought the game within 2 at one point. Like, they just don't have the matchups to consistently get stops. They don't. So yeah, fun SGP type of game. All right. Wow, man. Yeah, I don't see a line on Odyssey. They need to go ahead and drop that. It's probably not going to be high enough. I know it's not. Okay. We're done with that. 5 games. Camp day. Let's go ahead and get into lock dog underdog lineup. I'll drop a parlay too. It's a lot of stuff to like. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of stuff to like here. I do like New York. I do like Chicago. Well, I like fading Atlanta. I do like the Mystics first half too. Wow. It's like a kid at a candy store. It's actually a lot of bits. Okay, so let me not take Dallas. Mystics first half is really, really tempting.
I was assuming you would just go Liberty, but I'm not sure if
I'm very much considering Liberty as well. Like, I think I've actually in my mind kind of split it to either Liberty or Chicago first half.
Okay.
Is there any way Atlanta screws me? Let me see. The Chicago just lost that last game against Seattle, so they could be looking to, and weren't they on a road trip? Yeah, they were on a 3-game road trip too. So they were gone all last week. Yeah, so they were gone all last week from the 2nd to the 7th. They're back. They just played Atlanta, won 85-77 in Atlanta. And now I'm pretty sure Atlanta had Canada for that game too. Yeah, let's just fade Atlanta. Sky. First half, lay 3.5. I'm gonna play that. That's my play. Chicago Sky the first half, laying 3.5. They're just a really good first half team playing against a really bad first half team that is battered, broken down, bruised. And Chicago is also in the playoff hunt. Like they're in the playoff hunt and they're trying to get back and leapfrog the Indiana Fever again. So this back and forth early game, I'm just gonna fade the dream on the road here. Give me the Chicago Sky in the first half, laying 3.5 for a dream team that have also played 2 games on the road already. So they've been on the road and they're continuing to go on the road. They were in Dallas, then they were in Connecticut. Now they're in Chicago. All right, that's block for my dog. Do I want to commit to Seattle outright? I don't think so. Maybe, possibly. No, maybe, but not here. Let's just play a bunch of other stuff I really like because I really do like that Liberty. I really do like the Liberty. We'll take the Liberty and we'll just throw them in the money line in a parlay. And then we will take Las Vegas team total under. Was interesting. No, because I'm going to drop a parlay. So that can be the parlay. So this is the parlay. Scratch my dog. This is the parlay. We're going to go Liberty on a money line in the early game and just say that they continue to beat this Sun team for the first leg. For the second leg, we're going to go with Mystics first half plus 3.5. That second leg. Third leg closes us out in the afternoon slate. That's Aces team total under 89.5. So there we go. There's your 3 legs for the parlay. Liberty, money line, Mystics, first half plus 3.5. Aces, team total under 89.5. For my dog, I'm just going to take Seattle on the money line, though. Plus 170.
Okay. For my lock, I have a couple of things to choose from. So, by the way, you kind of confused me there. You did the parlay before the dog. So I got confused on the order there. My bad. All right. So for the lock, it was either going to be going with the under on Jackie or the over on Lainey Hamilton in the assist department. I think I am going to go with the under on Jackie as my lock. Give me the under 5.5 assists at minus 125. Looking at her games recently, she has gone under this number in 6 of her last 8 games in general. And against the Storm, she has been horrible when it comes to getting assists. In the 2 meetings this season, she's combined for 5 assists. Her line in this game is 5.5. So I'll go with the under on that. A reminder, the Aces did score 94 in that second game, and she had 2 assists. So give me Jackie under her assist prop as my lock at minus 125 at 5.5. And for my dog, I am going to. I thought about taking an alt over actually in that Wings and Mercury game. Give me the over 179.5 at plus 154. All 3 games have had at least 187. I know one of them did go to double overtime. The other 2 got to 190 and change in regulation. Give me an alt over. I think one of these teams get to 100. I think you're going to see a massive amount of points. So give me the over 179.5 in the Wings game as my dog at plus 154.
All right. Yeah, Bill. I mean, I would. Bill says I should have my lock and dog ready in advance because
It's
I
a
was fumbling
process.
around and it
That's why we
doesn't
talk it all through.
expire. Yeah, we talk it all through. And honestly, truly, we started the season doing this, and I'm 23-9. I don't think I want to just switch and do something
That's fair.
else.
That's fair.
I don't want to switch the mojo up. That's ultimately screw everything else. The fact is, we've been doing this since the start of the season, and we're 23-9 right now. So I just don't want to. I'm superstitious. I can't switch anything up. So I'm going to continue to make them up on the spot. Still going to do it. However, all right, dog, this is a fun interactive podcast. Like, come on, we all do this together. Like, I'm not a talking head. I'm sorry, I'm not a talking head that just comes out here. We got to talk this out. And plus, Scott changes my mind because Ace's team total under would not have been there if I didn't see the number when Scott said it. What, 89.5? I'm gonna have to play that individually.
I thought about taking that instead of Jackie, but the fact that they got to 94 with Jackie only having 2 assists, I feel better about that one. 5 assists combined in the 2 meetings, and her line's at 5.5 for this game alone. I got to take the under there.
And I think it's because Jackie had a run where she had a double run, I think, a couple of games ago. But like
she had 10 assists against Indiana and against the Mystics, but since then, the ball I feel like is constantly in Plum's hands because she's been on fire recently. And you have point guard back, so Jackie's kind of
taking the ball.
Back
yeah,
to being,
no,
yeah,
I like it. I'm with you. All right, let's see here. Underdog. Let's make an underdog lineup, Scott.
I never know what they have overnight, but we had a lot of props today, so they better have a lot.
But it's camp day. Why am I logged out? Whoa, that's concerning. Let's go ahead and log me back in underdog. Let's see here. What do we want to do for an underdog lineup? I felt like it was a lot of stuff we liked today.
I feel like we liked tomorrow. So just being honest, it feels like we liked everything.
Just play everything. Play everything. All right.
Out of principle, do we keep the Angel Reese train rolling?
We can't. It's at 13 on underdog.
That's a shame.
So it's tougher. Right. It's tougher to keep it going on underdog, but it's at 13. We can. I do like that Sabrina under, but not enough to put it in underdog. I feel.
I'm sorry. I don't know. What
that means. Dolson. Let me get Dolson higher. Dolson higher 11.5 points.
I was gonna say you said you liked Sabrina under. I don't know that vocabulary.
Yeah, I don't know that vocabulary.
I know what that's
but Sabrina lower.
Oh, you mean lower?
Like Sabrina lower.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
lower. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. I do. Yeah, fucking dickhead. Well, let me get Steph Dolson, man. Steph Dolson higher 11.5. She hit it in the 2 games against Indiana. And I think I said in one of those games that they're bad at closing out on 3-point shooters, and so the Mystics spread the ball around, and it kind of just finds Steph Dolson's hand at the 3-point line, and she's hit them and been really, really consistent. So 11.5 for a healthy Dolson in this game against Indiana with bad defense. I like it.
I think I want Griner if they have her points at 19.5 because she's dominated this team. She had 24 points on the dot in the first 2 meetings. You mentioned Tarazi's out. Whether Tarazi's good or bad, she wants to shoot. So there are more shots to be had. And I don't think the wings can guard anybody. So I like Griner in that matchup.
All right. And then we can... Skylar, I'm okay with. Jackie, I'm actually... Oh, no. Let's play Ezzy.
Okay.
Well, Ezzy's at 0.9. Never mind.
I'm trying to think of other stuff that we were tempted by. I mentioned Benija, but I ended up not taking her.
Tina Charles is also of intrigue to me as well.
Yeah, we're backing an Atlanta player, though. We can't have that.
Yeah, we can't do that. We
can't do that.
I say I feel the best about Skylar and just Skylar going over that points and assist again. Because, come on, they're really, really bad defensively. The Aces are, man. And if she's getting Plum, because you can't put Plum on Jewel Lloyd. No way. It's no way. Yeah, we'll take Skylar.
Sure.
You can't put Plum on Jewel Lloyd. All right. There we go. Stephanie Dolson, higher, 11.5 points. Brittany Griner, higher, 19.5 points. And Skylar Diggins-Smith, higher, 20.5 points and assists. And then underdog, shake it all up, and you're going to get 6 times your entry. So you put in $10, that's going to give you $60. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN at underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN. That's underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN. All right. Scott, anything else for the people before we get up out of here?
No, a bunch of games on the card. It's about time. We've had about a day or two off with barely any action. I see the Lynx are up 22 right now, so that's probably good for you. Looking at Wednesday's card quickly, we went through all those games. Thursday's card, are there games on Thursday? There's one game on Thursday. You have Sky versus Liberty. And then Friday, you have a bunch of games. So we'll probably be back for Friday for the 3 games. Or we'll be back Thursday for the Friday games.
Oh, dang. Rakia's not scoring. She's only got 4. Dang. Oh, Bridget, I should have went higher on Bridget today. Bridget's got 3. She went over that 2.5 3-pointers already. Look at that. Okay. Sorry. I was stat looking. I'm about to turn this game on and catch that back in. All right. What else? Oh, yeah. Hey, 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcast. Go and make sure you're subscribed, please. Like the easiest thing you can do is just make sure you're subscribed. There's so many people that be watching, listening that they're just not subscribed. Just subscribe, get the podcast to your phone, and it's super easy. And you know what? It really is. It doesn't cost you anything. Plus, make sure you go ahead and give us a like and a comment on YouTube or anything like that. But yeah, that's it for me. Camp Day. This podcast episode is actually going to be obsolete very early tomorrow. So make sure that you tap in. Other than that, I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to end it like this. Do I have anything else to say? No, I don't. We're out of here.